Yeah, so guys, in case you missed it, the PS5 Pro has been announced. I'll probably just have some gameplay in the background showing you guys some of what they showed off in the event. To be honest, basically all we're going to be getting is slightly better frame rates and the use of basically NVIDIA DLSS but for PlayStation. So that is just AI upscaling of games, which I do think is a good feature. Like, there's nothing wrong with DLSS if, you don't have it on, like, super performance mode. Like, if you have it on quality or balanced when you're playing on PC games, it looks pretty good. Even in, like, 4K, 1440p, yeah, it looks good. So, I'm sure the PS5 Pros will be a decent upgrade. But a big problem, guys, is the fact that they are going to be $699, basically $700. That's obviously not including sales tax in America, or in the UK where tax is included, £699 or basically £700. And that is obviously not coming with a disk drive attached. So yeah, a lot of people who like to use physical copies of games, they are not going to be happy with that because, yeah, you won't be able to use your discs anymore. However, there is a thing with the PS5 Slim where you can buy a attachable disk drive, and supposedly that will actually attach to the PlayStation Pros. So, I mean, yeah, you could buy that as well. But again, it's just another added cost. Another thing that a lot of people talk about, which I don't know if it's a fair argument, but, it's definitely something to bring up, is the fact that compared to something like a PC, where you can just get Steam and, connect it, or it doesn't have to be Steam, any kind of launcher. All you have to do, connect to the internet and boom, you can play games. You don't need to pay to use an online service. Whereas with PlayStation, I think like the main one, I don't know if it's the main one that most people get, but the top level is called, I think it's PlayStation Premium, and at least in the UK, I believe it's £120. So if you're talking about £700 plus 120, you're looking at £820. Plus, if you want that disk drive, you're talking, I think it's another £100 on top of that. So we're now up to just for the first year of use, we're up to £920, which is kind of ridiculous. Now, obviously, people would make the argument, well, if you're going to be using a PC as a comparison, no one's going to really use discs anymore for PCs, whereas, on the PlayStation Pro, you don't have to use discs, so including an extra £100 thing is kind of silly. So, again, you can kind of take that into account, but I just really do feel like £820, or even if you just want to talk about the base price of £700 or $700, not including tax, that is ridiculously expensive for a console. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But obviously, I think if you are primarily a PlayStation gamer and you just really enjoy the console experience and you don't want to get a PC, then I actually think there's no problem with you maybe selling your PlayStation or your PlayStation Slim and then upgrading to this, because I mean, hey, if that's what you enjoy and you want the best experience, then yeah, I suppose you just pay for it because you do want this extra fidelity. If we look at this example on screen right now about the performance, as you can see, it is crisper. So if you are playing on a nice 4K, maybe one of the OLED monitors or TVs, then yeah, this will look clearer. So if you want a better experience, you can sell that old PlayStation, use some of that money to fund this new one, and then it's maybe not as bad of, a price upgrade, but still, it's not cheap. I was expecting maybe at most $649 kind of price range, because, I don't know, just going at $699, I mean, you're not really fooling anyone. That's £700. I just thought $650 would be the max, and I generally thought people would have a bad reaction to $650, but the fact it's $700 with everything going on with, the whole cost of living crisis and, economies around the world, I don't know. I just think it's an expensive console. But at the same time, I think if you have a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Slim and you don't have a bunch of disposable income, then just don't bother upgrading to this. This is kind of, it is literally a pro level product, and I just think, honestly, it's worth just skipping out. I don't think you're going to be playing a regular PlayStation on, let's say it's GTA 6 when that comes out, and then you're going to have a friend who's playing on a pro version, and they're going to be just, completely outperforming you or getting a much better experience. When it comes to, your actual experience and the performance per dollar for that, I just don't think the upgrade is really worth it. It's more one of those products where if you want the best experience and if you can afford it and have that extra income and you want to spend it, sure, go ahead. But otherwise, just the regular PlayStation or PS5 Slim, that's going to do you fine. So yeah, I wouldn't care too much about this. I can understand why the backlash, why there has been backlash, but I just think at the end of the day, if you don't want to buy it, then just don't buy it. Like, it's pretty simple. Also, I saw this tweet comparing the $700 console to a $2,000 PC and saying that it will outperform it. And I mean, like, no offense to this Saw Alistair guys, I just don't know if he knows what he's talking about, but I think, you know, consoles in general, like, are actually a very good value for money if you're trying to game on a bit more of a budget than buying some high-end $2,000 gaming PC. But I'm sorry, there's no way it's actually outperforming a $2,000 PC. Yeah, especially if you're using like second-hand parts, which I understand isn't necessarily a fair comparison, but if you use second-hand parts, you can build a very, very capable PC that would run games with DLSS for around about $700, which would outperform the PlayStation Pro. But again, I think that's not really what we're doing. Like, at the end of the day, the PlayStation Pro is great as a console, but yeah, if anything, I think quite a few people aren't going to be buying it. And I don't know, I don't think the sales are going to be that crazy. So maybe in a couple of years' time as well, when GTA 6, you know, has already been released, maybe a year or so after that, you'll see these consoles at a much more discounted price, because probably, as I said, sales won't have been what Sony wanted, and they're gonna have to drop the price. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think down below. But I know this is like a day late or so, but I was doing some stuff yesterday. I know I haven't uploaded for the past couple of days, but hey, I'm gonna try and post daily videos on this channel. But yeah, obviously some days if I miss it, then I miss it. But yeah, let me know what you think down below, and that is pretty much it.